Caleb, you guys defensively weren't good in the bowl, but late in the season, last 3 or 4 games, you guys kind of hit another stride defensively. What changed there at the end of the season where you guys played so much better then?
I think for us, it was just a matter of, just really locking in and, buying into, the culture, buying into what Coach Tarver was talking about. the whole all gas, no brakes. I think anytime when you have, that transition with, a new coordinator, there is a, process, to getting used to that. Even though it was a lot of the same language, I think, at the same time, we still had to buy in as a unit. And towards the end of the season, we did that. And it showed.
Outside linebackers in this system get a chance to rush the passer and make some plays that way. Will that be what you get a chance to do this year?
I will, but I think at the end of the day, the first and foremost thing, we got to stop the run. Defensively, whether it be split zone, plunge, some of those things right there, those hurt us at times last year. And I think, as Coach Mason said, we got to earn the right to rush the passer. And we have some talented pass rushers on this team. You look at Kenny Hebert, you look at, Andre Mentz, you look at, I can go down to the D-line, Dio, Elijah McAllister. We got guys, but at the end of the day, we've got to stop the run. And, we'll go from there.
How much has that been a topic of conversation throughout the spring and summer? is that something you guys talk about every day then, stopping the run?
It's one of those things where we realize how important it is, but at the end of the day, we got to play football at the end of the day. We're not gonna sit here and be like, that's all we have to do, but we realize there has to be an emphasis on that because we realize the conference we play in, and we understand that, in order to unleash those pass rushers that we have to stop the run.
I would imagine you're matched up with Pinckney a little bit in practice over the years. You see him every day. Where does he better at now that says he's an NFL caliber tight end that maybe he wasn't a couple of years ago?
I think for Jared, as you touched on, I've been with him. We're both fifth-year seniors. I've seen him, grow over the past couple of years. As he has with myself, and for just watching him, whether it be just his attention to details, the work ethic. He's really come into that true leadership position. Whether it be vocally, he's naturally kind of could be more of a quiet guy, but I think now he's kind of embraced that role as being more vocal. He's embraced that role of trying to bring the younger guys with him, and I think he just makes us better as just in his role.
You talked about stopping the run. When you guys looked at film and had an off season to digest it, where did that go wrong last year?
As far as
stopping the run.
Stop the run.
Yeah.
For us, I think it was a matter of execution. At the end of the day, coaches coach, players play. Coach Tarver, Coach Mason, their job is to get the best 11 on the field, but at the end of the day, we've got to execute as players. And I think when you look at this offseason, I think you can look at any of the top teams, and the top teams self-govern. The top teams are going to help each other. They're going to hold each other accountable. One of our slogans is, as a defense, is I got your back. And what we mean by that is, look, nobody gets left behind. We're only as strong as our weakest link. And in order to have that, those effective plays, to be a dominant defense, you have to, put in the work. And I think we've done that all summer.
Coach Mason likes to say it's a junior-senior game, and for most guys, you do have to wait a year or 2 years before you see a lot of playing time. How hard is that? How frustrating can it be for guys wanting to get out on the field but having to wait their turn?
I think for anyone that comes into college football, you come into high school and everyone thinks they're the star. Everyone thinks they're it. Everybody thinks they're the next guy. But it is a very humbling experience. Just to have to put in the work and have to wait your turn. But there is through the pressure, you kind of get something on the back end of it. And, and obviously we do have a youthful team on the defensive side, but I think experience does help in that regard as well. You've got guys we played a lot of football, and those mistakes that we've made in the previous years has kind of helped us to get to where we are at right now. And so I'm really excited to see what's going to happen this camp, and I know a whole bunch of guys, we're ready to get after it.
Coach said, they got to sort out the inside linebackers in particular. you feel like there's a lot of candidates there, or do you feel like you know how it's going to play out when all is said and done?
We have a lot of depth right now at inside linebacker. We got a lot of guys competing, and that's what you want. Competition brings out the best of everyone, and I think we have a lot of guys who, are vying for playing time, and and that's what you want. I mean, especially in this conference.
One more question? Caleb, thank you.